Having struggled with my own mental health in the wake of loss, I was told many times there's no wrong way to deal with trauma. Unless you start drinking too much, unless you abuse someone, unless you hurt people that you love, and sometimes you do. But there's a solution. You know it. You've been told 1,000 times. Self-care. Get a massage, binge a show, post a thirsty yoga pic on Instagram. Surely that will put you back together. For me, real self-care is about deciding what drains you versus what gives you power and energy. And if you're anything like me, technology drains you and takes an enormous amount of your day. We stare into screens more than we sleep. But here's a secret in the tech industry. It isn't about technology, it's about attention. When we scroll and scroll and scroll, we teach social media companies how to keep our attention. And they use our attention to keep us in the app, all in the name of serving up ads. Ads that hit us at just the right time with products at just the right price. And so without realizing it, we end up buying things we don't really need. And what started as algorithmic surveillance eventually begins to change us. In your feed, only about 20% of available stories show up. So the way those choices are made shapes what we know and who we become. But doesn't social media build momentum for social movements? So out of a sense of obligation, you doom scroll and try and keep up with it all, but you can't. And eventually, you're spending a large portion of each day scrolling, searching for something, anything, to make you feel better. And you do need to be informed after all. And we do need to be online to fight the good fight and convince all those wrong people that they're wrong. This leads me to a couple of false beliefs that social media benefits from. The first is this: telling people what I think makes the world better. It turns out that telling people about identity-based goals, something like, I'm going to be less racist, actually makes us less likely to achieve those goals. This is because just by posting, we receive a social reward, which ends up tricking our brain into thinking that we've already made progress. The second false belief is that interruptions are a part of modern life. Despite heaps of evidence suggesting we stop, we keep multitasking. We now know the presence of a smartphone chokes productivity and makes us trust people less. Now at this point, I know all of it sounds bad, but none of this is really the source of that hollow feeling so many of us feel. It's a lack of connection to others. This is because despite being online all day, technology rarely mediates rich social interactions. In one study, stressed out girls were offered support from their mothers in 4 different ways: in person, on the phone, over text, and the last group received no support at all. When researchers measured their cortisol levels, they discovered that a phone call looks just like mom in person, and texts look just like no support at all. So if you want connection, it's got to be real time and high fidelity. But how are you going to do that? You have no time, remember? That's where I come in. There are a number of different ways to fix your digital environment. From automating Do Not Disturb mode and blue light filtering, to setting limits on distracting apps. You can even remove ads and images from the entire internet. Your next Netflix show doesn't have to start each episode as soon as the previous one ends. These are just a few ideas. Bring me to your campus and I'll dig into the causes of compulsive smartphone use. And together we'll take practical steps to reduce anxiety and depression, whether you want to spend 5 minutes or 5 hours a day on TikTok. After every event, I offer a Q&A session so that you can get your questions answered directly. Making subtle changes to your digital world, it's the thing that's broken after all, will give you back time which you can reinvest in the people and causes that you care about. By being ruthless with your environment, but compassionate with yourself, we'll start down a path toward a brighter future. Reach out to Greg Burra at Conscious Campus today and bring me to your campus.